What's up everyone, this is Marky2200 here and welcome back to my Need for Speed testing series. Today we'll be ranking all the modern muscle cars in Need for Speed Pro Street from worst to best based on their drifting capabilities. As usual, we are running stage 3 performance parts, handling parts have been mixed here and there. Tires as always have been reduced to stock. I also recommend reducing the brakes as much to stock as possible. And suspension has been reduced to either stage 2 or stage stock. However, all the info about what car used what handling stage as well as their tuning, drivetrain tuning, brakes tuning is all in the description down below. With that said, let's see which of the modern muscle cars in Pro Street is the worst for drifting, and that at number 10 we have the Shelby GT500 again. I say again because the Shelby was also, well, obviously the classic Shelby was the worst classic muscle car for drifting in Pro Street. And here for the modern muscle cars, it's the modern Shelby. 8756 points is still quite good for drifting, but the Shelby is the worst of the worst for modern muscle cars. Not much better is the Challenger, 9151 points. Clearly this car is not suited for drifting as it just handles weird, it's not very agile, and I just cannot recommend using this car. Then the Viper's podium streak has been cut short because this car has found its weak spot. This car is not great for drifting. It's probably the most frustrating modern muscle car to drift, and I just did not have a fun time drifting this car. Then at number 7 we have the C6 Corvette, which nearly broke 10k points, and even though it almost did, it is just like the Viper, very frustrating to drift because it just doesn't do what I want it to do, pretty much. That's, I think, the best way of putting it. And it is actually pretty much the same story with the Z06 Corvette. It is frustrating to drift. It is a slight upgrade in terms of point scoring. However, handling wise, drifting wise, it is not much better than the C6 Corvette. Yes, this car broke 10k, but I wouldn't recommend using this car for drifting. Then at number 5, I would say the cars above these are, I would say, decent at best, and the Camaro is decent at best, but it does have a long gearbox ratio, which can hamper your drifting here and there. So it is best to tune the gearbox ratio a bit shorter. Then at number 4 we have the Mustang 06, and this car is, I would say, alright for drifting. It is not bad, but it's not amazing either. Not amazing, it still scored 12,000 plus points, 12,000k plus points obviously, but it's alright. At number 3 we have the GTO 05, and it is pretty much the exact opposite of the Shelby GT500. I didn't set it back then, but the Shelby is actually quite a good drift car. It's just bad at scoring points. It's the opposite with the GTO. Slightly bad drift car, good at scoring points. Then number 2, surprise surprise, we have the CTS-V, and I would say the top 2 are just genuinely in a tier of their own. Because the CTS-V scored 15,100 points. My god, this car is genuinely amazing for drifting. So I would say that this is probably the overall easiest car to handle. If you are not very skilled at drifting, I wouldn't recommend picking number 1. I would recommend picking this one because this one has overall a good feel, it is nice, and it's just overall a very solid, amazing drift car. But at number 1 we have the little Mustang. Yes, the little Mustang finally found its purpose in the game. This car was decent everywhere else at best. It was decent for grip racing, decent for drag, for wheeling, for speed. It wasn't great at speed. And now for drifting, my god, is it amazing. It never really has any grip, but you still have total control, if that makes any sense. So you can pull off amazing drifts and you will have total control over it. And my god, this may be my new favorite car for drifting in the entire game. 15,361. It might be one of the best cars, but that is something that we will see very, very soon. I am rooting for that this car will at least be in the top 5 for best drifting cars. However, that is something that we will see once we're obviously testing all the drifting cars in one video. With that said, those were all the modern muscle cars and EvoC Pro Street from Wilsterberg based on drifting, and all the modern muscle cars in general, because drifting will always be the final clip testing video for rear-wheel drive cars. Next up, we're going to be testing the all-wheel drive sports cars, and obviously because those aren't rear-wheel drive, they can't participate in wheelie and or drift events, so it shouldn't take very long for the all-wheel drive cars to finish testing. I am looking forward to it because there are some great cars in there like the Evo 10, the Skyline and the Impreza, and they are bound to be extremely quick for grip racing. I am genuinely looking forward to it, but that is something for then. For now, if you've liked this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you wish to stay updated on all my future videos, consider subscribing. This has been Marky 2200 for now. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you very soon. Take care.